Millionaires. I mean,
So I think this is a good segue into our planned topic for the day, which is personalities. Elon Musk is quite a personality.
yeah, basically, we wanted to do an episode on the personality types. Like, there are several websites that offer personality tests that you take, you answer questions. Like, do you tend to make new friends? So you gotta hit agree or disagree or a neutral. So there are several questions. I mean, I hope several of our listeners might have come across this on our Instagram page, but it's an interesting thing anyway, to take this test and find out stuff written about the personality type that you are. So we were interested to find out more, and yeah, we decided we'll take a look and discuss.
Mhm.
So yeah, welcome to the Future Podcast. Here is Aaron, Alexander, and Mangal with you. Aaron, what personality type are you? Do you want to reveal, or I mean,
Uh, so the result that I got from the 16 personalities website was INFJA.
INFJA? Okay.
Yeah. So I is intuitive, F is feelings. I'm messing it up. What is it?
Okay. I think I got a list here.
INFJ. Yeah, INFJ. What was I? It was intuitive, right?
Introvert.
Oh, introverted. Okay, then N was intuitive. F was for feelings. P was, sorry, not P, right?
J.
J, INFJ.
J.
Then J was judgment. I was someone who,
Judging.
yeah. And A stands for assertive. And also,
Okay.
like, a potential fun fact was that the last time I did this test was back, like, last year, almost a year back, exactly. And then that time I got the same thing, except the A was T, and T stands for turbulent. And at the risk of this sounding like an advert for the website, um, but yeah, there is something that we have to announce relating to the website that we came across. Yeah, let's do that first before we get into this, and then we can
Yeah.
dissect our thoughts about it from
Yeah.
our
True. So I mean, continuing. Yeah. Basically, we found out that it's not really scientific. To break the tension, it's not really scientific. So these tests are based upon something called Barnum. I mean, there are several kinds of tests like this. They are basically broadly called as Myers Briggs tests. So basically, they give you like vaguely general statements that you feel are true about yourself, and yeah, basically, it's not scientific. So let's say what mine was. I'll tell what my thing. I got uh, campaigner. That's
Mhm.
one. So there are 16 different kinds of personalities according to this test. So even I took this test twice, and the first time I took it, and both the times I got the same result. I don't know if I haven't changed at all, or I mean, both the years I answered the same thing. Maybe my brain's been on freeze. Anyway, yeah, I got ENFP T. That's T for turbulent.
Mm.
E is for what? Extroverted, uh, and energy. I mean, come on, what
You know,
else?
I was quite curious. Uh, do you personally like call yourself or define yourself an introvert? Like which side do you think you are on?
Um, I have no idea, man. I wouldn't call myself an introvert. I like to make new friends. I tend to talk to new people. Like when I
Mm-hmm.
meet them, try making conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I do try to meet new people and all. So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say I'm bad at, in a social group,
Mm-hmm.
but it also depends on my mood.
Mm-hmm.
So some days I might be up for it, some days I won't be. So also I came across this people that they say that a person cannot be entirely extroverted or introverted. because if they are, they would be in an asylum, according to some psychologists that I read. So thank God for that. I mean, yeah.
So the reason I asked it is because uh, I I assumed and I thought that the reason why both of us get along and like we have the bond that we have is
Yeah.
I I thought that it's because both of us were like introverted to an extent.
Okay.
And and like we have similar thought patterns. We are also like feelings based, right? Like, do you think you're a feelings based sort of person?
So it's feeling versus thinking, according to these
Right.
tests. I would
Do you
say,
do you
I mean,
have
I
your
got a list.
percentages?
I mean, feeling. I mean, I got a list that says what characteristics they put in under feeling or thinking. So
Okay.
feeling says base your decisions on personal values and how your action affect others.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas thinking is making decisions in an impersonal way using logical reasoning.
I do both,
Yeah, so I do both.
but I think
So
I think I do. So
I can't
I
really answer that. No, like we can't. Depends
mm,
on the situation also.
definitely. I think I do feelings. I think I do the characteristics of feelings that you said, based on personal values and how it impacts others. I believe that's how I take majority of my decisions. Uh, so on 16 personalities, they had this whole scale. They showed how much percentage of each thing you are. So
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
the feeling and thinking, like I'm 77% feeling, 23% thinking, which I
Oh,
think is
I'm at 61 at for feeling.
okay. What are your percentages?
What all do we have categories?
Wait.
Extrovert
Actually,
or introvert?
sorry. Actually, before that, I wanna share something about the whole it not being scientific thing. So when you told this to me, I don't find a fault in creating a test based on the Myers burger. I fucked up the name.
Myers Briggs.
I said burgers. Myers Briggs test, because that I believe that's an accepted or like one of the more popular scientific forms of evaluating a personality. Uh, so I'm a little confused and like unclear on the premise of why they're calling it non-scientific. And then I can like when I think you didn't mention this while we were recording, which is the um that it's a similar technique used by
Hmm.
what was it? Like um
Astrologers and
yeah, exactly.
con, basically.
So
So
that's a strong accusation. And what was
it's
that? What was the phenomenon called or the strategy called?
Barnum-Forer effect,
Right,
BARNUM.
right. So
So I'll just read out a sentence. It's a phenomenon whereby individuals give high accuracy ratings to descriptions of their
hmm
personality that supposedly are tailored specifically to them, yet
hmm
which are in fact vague and general enough to apply to a wide range of people. So it's a wide categorization, you can say, maybe. But it's vague enough that you feel it's true, but that you feel it's tailored for yourself. So you give yourself those ratings to your own personality.
okay.
Basically, it has
Personally,
like you give answers on these scales. So there has to be a set of personalities that emerge, right, out of
hmm
streamline.
hmm
The people who answer the same could be clubbed into a category.
hmm
I don't know if it's originated that way, but
Yeah, so personally, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to 16 personalities. I, yeah, I don't, I'm not sure if it's
but
completely
but
valid.
but on the flip side, I think like the other day you told me something about how you wanted to be more. I mean, you wanted to change something in your character.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if this test is helping you to like get a description of your character based on what you think you are,
Yeah,
I think that can be used as a tool for self improvement. Maybe, I mean,
No,
You look
definitely
at it.
can. I think like if uh, if it scams, I don't think it's a scam. I mean, it's still a business and they're trying to make money out of it. So you can like you have to put that in the context. You have to add that to the context bucket. And I think it is helpful. Like it does more good than bad potentially. Mm, and I had these points that I wanted to share with this episode, which was like just like so me reading about whatever the descriptions I got, it kind of like it puts words to something that was not spoken about before, and
Yeah.
it kind of gives you a sense of belonging. Like there are others like you, something like that. So in that way, it was good. And at the end of the day, like we all have our own ability to like create our judgments. So like I was going through this exercise where I like they have this section after you do your test where you can see the strengths and weaknesses of your personality type. And
Yeah.
so like some of my weaknesses, like I was doing this exercise of seeing whether I have addressed those weaknesses, because at that point I was of the belief that the result is accurate. So the weaknesses they said were like sensitive to criticism. I wouldn't say I'm highly sensitive, but uh, I can like there are times when like I'm afraid of being criticized.
Mm,
Reluctant to open up. That was one of my weaknesses, which was true before, but I feel I'm more or less open about everything right now.
mm.
So yeah, basically I went through that exercise, which goes to your point, which is like if it helps people, it's good. Helps you think about it. And like I said, like last year, I did get the whole turbulent thing, and this year I got assertive, which kind of makes situational sense to me because like at work and this like the requirements need me to be as like otherwise like I wouldn't thrive, and that also sort of made sense, that whole change. So things seem to add up for me.
I mean, what did you say you were? Which,
Which one? The whole thing?
yeah, the EN, no, IN, what is it?
INFJ A.
INFJ.
INFJ A.
So it says you're idealistic, organized, insightful, dependable, compassionate, gentle, seek harmony and cooperation, enjoy intellectual stimulation.
All true. I have this one thing about the organized thing, which is I am quite organized, but uh, I have this bad habit of not putting in enough effort. So sometimes that might get in the way, but generally, yes. If you guys check out my like the way I organize my folders at work and stuff, I don't know, you'll be impressed.
You would call yourself organized. So if they
Yeah.
asked you a question that asked if you were organized, you
Hmm.
would put that you are on the
Yeah.
organized side.
Yeah. But
So
I mean,
that,
previously at least there would have been a self-doubt element. It's just I hope I've taken care of that pesky little bug.
anyway, yeah, I mean, I am supposed to be enthusiastic, creative, spontaneous, optimistic, supportive, playful, value, inspiration. I mean, who doesn't like? And I'm looking at it
Mm-hmm.
with this skeptical mind now that we
Mm-hmm.
came to know that it's not really
Vague,
accurate. Yeah, these do sound like they are generally
vague.
applicable,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, but I mean, it's still like we said, it's a good exercise to maybe look at how you would describe yourself
Mm-hmm.
in a way. So, and even so this article says even data from the Myers Briggs test itself shows that most people are somewhere in the middle for any one category and just end up being pigeonholed into one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, yeah, I mean, there were questions that made me confused, and I was like neutral or just put one.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's why you got turbulent.
maybe. So some psychologists have shifted from talking about personality traits to personality states.
Yeah,
They say
makes sense.
so. Yeah.
How much importance should we really give? I mean, like, okay, I was gonna ask how much importance should we give to personality types? How I how I approach any sort of interaction with people is to let them be, like, to give them the space to be whoever they are.
Yeah.
And like in organizations, one way I can see personality types being used is like if you know the nature or character traits of your employees, your colleagues, you could probably create better workflows which are more inclusive and
Yeah, even I thought about it.
Mhm.
But if it were accurate though, I mean, if it
Like,
really holds
mhm.
practically,
I mean, like
I'm
the thing
interested to
is,
see, I mean, if somebody tries this out really, like maybe a group of
we
people
can,
can have a better
yeah,
understanding.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once what we are doing becomes an organization, we can
You
do
know
that.
what? One of my weaknesses was I have
Mhm.
huge enthusiasm when something starts out and then it wears out. My enthusiasm dies.
That could be quite a general point.
That could be a general point as well.
Yeah.
But but I did think that was true for myself, like
Hmm.
in a big way. But yeah, it's not really accurate apparently. Yeah. So what else? I mean, that's
Uh,
really interesting how they also showed other famous celebrities that it might be like your personality type.
yeah. And also about that, I think it's quite important to note that it's not like those people did the test and they're using those test results. So like for me, I got Lady Gaga as one of my, like,
Mm.
the thing is they are also doing an analysis based on public comments that Lady Gaga did, and like whoever wrote the article, whoever, so it was his or her opinion
I mean, it is brilliant writing anyway,
based based on the
right?
guidelines. Yep. Um, and yeah, so you said, how do we know whether it's like, so if you're using these tests in the organization, and like how do we know whether it's accurate? I think uh, I believe, like, I feel like I'm gonna preach. We are like, so we are all humans, right? And innately within ourselves we have that ability to connect and like see what each person is like. So we can validate the test results ourselves, like in our own experience with each other. We can we can potentially, like, if there's a manager or a staff in charge of doing you know workflow optimizations for personality types, uh they can, like, based on their interactions with the staff, you can note
The
down, like,
others.
you can note down, like,
Mm.
these are your traits, these are their preferences, and then implement those into workflows. And if companies do that, I would like have such a I would enjoy being in a company like that, because I feel like a lot of my own needs, like based on my character, my personality types, are not catered to, which puts me in very uncomfortable and stressful and nerve-wracking situations. Uh, but hopefully,
But
like, I'm going above that.
yeah, I mean, individuals are rarely valued above companies, no? Anyway.
But, no, I mean, if you
But
don't
yeah, that should be the future
value,
that we should be looking for.
if you don't value
I
the individuals, man, screw you. Go dig a hole, go sleep with your money.
Aaron's aggressive people today.
I haven't eaten.
Yeah,
If any of my colleagues are watching, you know how poor my eating habits are. Yeah.
yeah.
A
So
fun little fact: I ordered a 9-piece bucket for myself yesterday. Okay, see,
9-piece bucket. My God. Okay.
and I ate,
Yes, sir.
I ate two. I put the rest in the fridge. That
Okay.
that was like that was like literally a hunger-driven order, and like craving for the fries.
Okay. It's okay. You can treat yourself once in a while anyway. Hmm. So
It's never been a big part of life, anyways. Like growing up, nobody really checked our personalities. It's stuff that we did ourselves. Mm, so that's definitely one point that I would add. Like in in the whole drive towards inclusivity, this is potentially one additional aspect or angle that decision makers need to add to their list of things to do, because you want to be inclusive with personality types also. Not to the detriment of your overarching goal, but within reasonable confines. What else? Personality. I'm sure brainstorm, bro. How, how do you
I was
think
looking
we'll
at what personality states. Okay, so a trait and a state. So what's the difference between a trait, personality trait, or a personality state? So a trait is considered to be something that's part of an individual's personality, and it's a long-term characteristic of an individual trait. Like it's like a feature or quality of an individual. Someone who says, I am a confident person or I'm just an anxious person, is stating that this is the attributes of these attributes are part of who they are. So these are traits. But states on the a state on the other hand is a temporary condition. It's not long term, it's temporary.
potentially based
Uh,
on environmental factors, all of that, right?
yeah, short period of time.
Mm-hmm.
After that state has passed, they will return to another condition. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling quite confident about this interview, but I feel nervous about doing this. So it's more fair to say that we don't have traits, so because we can't be confident in all situations, but we have personality states. So yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I agree to that.
Maybe this
But
will help people.
yeah, I mean,
Please continue.
all these ideas that we have about ourselves, maybe it can be used to, I mean, to push ourselves to a certain personality state at moments.
Mm-hmm.
Like the more
Yeah.
I mean, it might also be like the more you think you know about yourself, you become more confident,
Mm-hmm.
even though it might be, I mean, at the risk of lies or maybe something that's not true, but it might serve the purpose. Like a soldier might not be really confident, but maybe if he pushes himself thinking that he's a confident person, if people keep telling him he's a confident person, deep, I mean, this this is totally uh, my own theory, so
Yeah.
that could be true. But I feel like he might be
Mm-hmm.
down to do the job when it matters.
I think like a truly manipulative person will know just the right spot. Like he'll give you something that's vague enough to be true to yourself, but not absurd enough that you think, what the hell is this guy talking about? Um, I had
This is also misused, right? Yeah. So
what,
sorry,
what, what is missing?
like by godmen especially. I mean, that's what's coming to my mind.
Yeah,
Godmen,
yeah.
leaders,
How do you
religious
really
leaders.
tackle that one? How do you tackle someone who's intent on conning people?
I have no idea, man. I have no sympathy for those who con others also. Uh,
Yeah, I suppose we just watch, and if things go too far, that's where we step in.
but this religious, I mean, that's one of the reasons I don't like religions. It's very easy to twist the words. You can, I feel personally, if you can be spiritual, you don't really have to be religious. I think that's my stand on
Mhm.
the thing. Yeah, so religions are easily
I think
prone to manipulate.
like I wish religion was not so closed as it is, and I think people potentially miss out that it's a whole life experience, and if you block out, yeah, religion's just part of it. I just want to do one thing which might be helpful. Definitions, if some. I always got quite confused with like Intuitive. What is intuitive? Like I always thought it meant like a gut feeling.
Yeah, I mean, that's what even
Yeah, I
I
suppose
have.
that's right.
Like that feels natural to us
Yeah.
doing.
So I mean, I wrote down a definition. So intuitive means using or based on what one feels to be true, even without conscious reasoning.
Mhm.
Something else that might be interesting, judge. So percentage wise, like this thing was the most polarizing. Like the two options were uh, either judging or being prospecting. I'm 92% of a person who judges. 8% for prospecting. So the definition for judge is why does it feel incomplete? Form an opinion or conclusion about.
About?
That's why I feel like I wrote an incomplete
Oh, okay.
definition.
Okay, judging. Okay, I don't know
Form an
where my
opinion or
notes
conclusion.
went.
Oh my God, that's me. I form an opinion or oh, okay. I mean, but I understand like that is potentially 92% of crazy. Prospect. The definition of prospect is like the possibility or likelihood of some future event occurring. I'm not entirely sure how these translate into personalities.
Okay,
Yeah,
prospecting individuals are very good at improvising and spotting opportunities. They tend to
I
be
do that.
flexible, relaxed, non-conformists who prefer keeping their options open. I am 75% prospecting.
That makes sense because like you were always leaning towards keeping this this podcast casual. Like let's see how it goes. That sort of attitude. Okay.
Let's see how it, yeah, that's one line I think. I don't know. This is like there are parts of it that I feel are
And
really
and
true, but
what about judge?
25% judging.
Not the person. Like, have you written down something about judge?
They haven't. It says you are mostly prospecting. Let me see if they have definitions or something. I'm a turbulent campaigner, diplomat, spilling secrets.
So it's under tactics. This trait reflects our approach to work, planning, and decision making. So under
Yeah, what
that,
are you?
I'm judging. What does that mean? My approach to work is judging. My approach to planning is judging. My approach to decision making is judging.
I am 54% turbulent, self-conscious, sensitive to stress. But this feels like putting myself out there in public now. Shouldn't do this probably. Not a good move, Aaron. I mean, if you don't
Amazing,
believe in
Aaron.
this, I am supposed to be extroverted according to them. 66%, 80%
I'm six,
intuitive.
I'm 68% introverted.
We are comparing numbers here, people.
I'm 62% intuitive.
Oh, I'm
70,
80,
77% feeling.
61.
92% judging.
My God, that's like polarizing, dude. Just check under that judging. There might
I
be a
have,
definition there.
I have to go to the mental asylum.
Just missed. If it's 100%, you would have been in
No,
some.
there's no freaking definition. There's nothing to click on.
There's an arrow like pointing down. Like, it's not there for you.
Oh, okay, yeah. Judging individuals are decisive, thorough, and highly organized. They value clarity, predictability, and closure, preferring structure and planning. So this is completely me, bro.
God, yeah.
92%.
I don't have any plans. So
Yeah, I think like with your experience, like in how I try to do the podcast, like I try to get fixed.
I mean, I assess things and options, and I
Hmm.
take a decision,
Okay.
and then I go with the keeping options open. Apparently,
Yeah, I don't. I like the structure. I like knowing what. But then, so how I've compensated for it is like I know that there are opportunities out there from the unknown. The whole keeping your options open thing. So like in my mind, I've told myself that as well. Like, be open to that. But most of the times, I prefer sticking to the plan.
Anyway, guess that's about it.
That's about it, folks. Again, I want to promote the Slack workspace. It's still a work in progress, but we would, if you feel inclined towards joining us on there and having discussions with us and with anyone else on there about topics, please find the invite link in our bio on Instagram. And also we could actually put it in the bio on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to us. We aim to please you, my lord. See you next
Where is
time.
that coming from?
I have no idea. Spontaneity. Yeah. There we go. 16 personalities was a sham. I just did something spontaneous.
It's a sham, but it is fun. You can just go ahead and just take it. I mean, people do work. I mean, even more stupid shit on the internet. It's a fun activity that you can do for like 5 minutes.
True.
And I mean, do it with your friends. That might be fun if it's in a group. Then you can also bitch about each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, always bitch in front of the others. Yeah.
Never behind. Kids.
Bitch please, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for listening, and I hope you liked this episode, and hope you will hit that like button, subscribe, because that'll be fabulous. Bye. Thank you for listening.
Fabulous.